Joining me today is Jake Kwiatkowski, the game expert and marketing manager at the game agency. And today we are going to play a little Jeopardy. He's going to show you how to build Jeopardy. And we are also perhaps going to test your knowledge in Star Wars and other things. All right, Jake, take it away.
Stephanie, thank you as always. It is always nice to be here. And Jennifer Kaiser, may the 4th be with you also. Thank you very much. And I like that ice cold water. I got some here happening. Whoop, there we go. In Rochester, New York as well. So actually, I lied. I'm not in Rochester. I'm joining you from the cockpit of my X-Wing fighter, and I am super excited about today's quiz. Some of you who have come to our game building webinars before, we normally go through what the game is about, and then I build something. We're going to flip it up today. We're going to play Jeopardy first. We're going to play the game that we are then later going to build. And obviously, you guessed it, it is Star Wars themed. I am really, really excited about this game to share it with you all. So here's how this is going to work. I just put a link in the chat. Click on that link or copy and paste it into a separate browser from your Zoom window. Click the start button. And then give us your name or initials for the leaderboard so we know who is playing. Now, you don't have to play if you don't want to, but in my opinion, what are you doing? Join in. You've got nothing to lose. We're just going to have some fun. And honestly, like Stephanie said, I'm going to try and teach you something here as well. A lot of people say you can't learn new concepts through Jeopardy games. I politely disagree, and I'm going to try and teach you all something. Great. So I've got 9 people logged in. Stephanie, thank you again for sharing that link with me, or with the group rather. So yeah, click on that link or copy and paste it into a separate web browser. So on my left side of my screen, I've got my Zoom room where you can see Stephanie and mine's beautiful faces and our Star Wars themes. And then on the right side of my screen, I have the Jeopardy game. So click on that link, click start, and then when it says your name or initials for the leaderboard, that is where we need to go. Boom, there's your link, Iris. There you go. Yeah, and if anybody is not seeing the link or doesn't know what I'm talking about, Stephanie and I will be happy to help you. So, a couple quick rules of the road of the game. If you all have watched or played Jeopardy on TV, congratulations, you know how to play the game. So, there will be multiple choice or text put. Jennifer, you're my new favorite contestant right now. There will be multiple choice or text input answers. Multiple choice, there's 4 answers up. You choose which one you think is correct. If you get it right, you win the points. If you get it wrong, you lose the points, hence the name of the game, Jeopardy. If you don't want to answer, you don't want to risk the points, don't. You will not be penalized if you decide not to answer. But in my humble opinion, to win the game, you got to play. And again, we're not playing for anything. We're just going to have a good time. So by all means, join us. All right, I got 40 people logged in. I got 56 in the Zoom, so that is great. And by the way, you can join late. If you're like, nah, I'm going to stay back. I don't want to play Jeopardy. But then see how much fun we're all having. By all means, you can join in halfway or at any point during the game. All right, I think that does it, everybody. So if you have your Zoom window open, I'm going to start the game. Or excuse me, your Jeopardy screen open. You should see that beautiful Jeopardy board flying across the screen. And if you read the info screen, guess what? We are all stormtroopers that just joined the Imperial Army. And before we get our first assignment, we have one final exam from our squad commander, and that is a Jeopardy game. So, Stephanie, without further ado, freezing yourself off in Hoth there, which clue should we go with first?
Yeah, I think that we should start with important tools for 200.
I love it. Starting top left. It's a beautiful thing. Here we go. Important tools for 200. And again, none of you have read any of these materials, and I hope you all learned something at the end of the quiz. Here we go. Have a question? Your first stop should be this document that likely has the answer you're looking for. This is tongue-in-cheek. This is fun. Don't think too hard. Is the document The Empire in You, How to Spot a Jedi, Rebel Scum 101, or the Stormtrooper Handbook? Yes, 13 of you have gotten this right. So, 28 of you have gotten this right so far. Only a few getting it incorrect. I love this. Yes. Those red bars at the bottom of your screen that are slowly ticking away, that's your time running out. Time. Okay, well, we'll sing Pink Floyd later. 36 of you got this right. 5 got it wrong. 6 decided not to answer. The correct answer is indeed the Stormtrooper Handbook. So the Stormtrooper Handbook, it's a living document updated constantly to provide you with the information you need to succeed. Consult your handbook before asking your supervisors or others for help. Very good. Stephanie, where do we want to go now? We got all these topics. Where are we going?
So many topics. You know, I think because stormtroopers care about family too, we should learn about the healthcare policies for 200.
I agree. Let's see what Imperial healthcare policies we've got going on here. Being a stormtrooper is dangerous work. As thanks, you can be fully reimbursed for any injuries caused specifically by this traditional Jedi weapon. Is it a laser saber, a vibro sword, a lightsaber, or a ray sword? Yes, now, once you've submitted your answer, you can't change it. So I know, your secret's safe with me. Where's the Force as an option? I like that. That is a good clue. That is a good clue. But we'll get there perhaps. Maybe that's one of the other questions. So 47 of you got this wrong. So the one, or 47 of you got this right. Excuse me.
I would be
the
very
one person
worried
who got this wrong.
if 47 people got this wrong.
We're going to slip that. The one person who got it wrong, your clicker was on the wrong thing. It's cool. We all know it's a lightsaber, but real Star Wars nerds know that vibro swords can actually fight lightsabers, right? Okay. So Matt Miller got that in 1 second. Right on, Matt. Yeah. Okie dokie. So the Imperial healthcare policy, we will reimburse you 100% of all injuries received from this elegant weapon from a more refined age. All right. Stephanie, where are we going now?
All right, let's do, what do you do next for 200?
Okay. All right. Hitting all the categories. I like it. A droid is malfunctioning and you need it repaired. Send it to this member of your unit. Is it the person in your squad who fixes hover cars? Well, maybe your squad commander, the company mechanic, or another droid? Ooh, this is a tricky one. This is a trick question. And again, we're having fun, right? We're having fun. We're all here to learn something. A lot of folks are deciding not to ring in on this one. You know what? If I'm telling you the honest truth, I might not have rung in on this one either. This is a good one to not risk those points. The correct answer is indeed the company mechanic. Yes. So you should not first report this to your squad commander. Send it to the company mechanic who will fix your droid and log the proper paperwork for you. All right. Stephanie, I'm sensing a pattern.
Oh, do you think perhaps we might go to the Empire's Most Wanted for 200?
I think I want to see what's on that list. So let's go. Let's knock off the final $200 clue. Here we go. This rebel was responsible for the destruction of the first Death Star. Just don't believe the rumors about his father. Was it Lando Calrissian, Chewbacca, Luke Skywalker, or Han Solo? Yes, 17 of you. Woo! 3 of you got this in 0 seconds, defying the laws of physics themselves. Going into warp speed here. Couple seconds left on the clock. The correct answer is indeed, my friends, Luke Skywalker. We are still gathering intelligence on this moisture farmer from Tatooine, but he's clearly dangerous. Be on the lookout. All right. Cool. Stephanie, where are we going now?
It's time to mix it up. Let's stick with the Empire's Most Wanted for 600.
Whoa. All right. Big money. Big money for $600. Here we go. Hey-o, it's the Daily Double. Everybody can play the Daily Double. So on your screen, you will see a little bar, a little wager bar. Click the dot and drag it across to the amount that you would like to wager. Then click submit. Once you've hit submit, you cannot change your wager. I'm gonna give it a few seconds here. Average wager is about $600. Most of you are in. I'm gonna count to 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, hiding the wager board. Here we go. Here is your clue. Keep your eyes open for this most wanted man who was once Lord Vader's teacher and we believe to be the last of the Jedi. Is it Obi-Wan Kenobi, Emperor Palpatine, Darth Maul, or Jar Jar Binks?
Those are some really tricky options there, Jake. I just have no idea.
No one's gonna give any Jar Jar Binks comments, anything at all? No, I'm disappointed. We say that 38 got it right, 9 got it wrong. It's Obi-Wan Kenobi, the only Jedi on there. Woo!
Well, but like some of those people did use the Force.
That's true. That is
So,
very true. You're
you
absolutely
know.
right. But Obi-Wan is the Lord Vader's teacher, and we really wish to capture this. That's right, Matt.
We do have a comment that Jar Jar is the real villain.
I have seen that Reddit thread, Matt. I have seen the thread. All right, Christine, I love to hear that. That's the whole point. You don't need to know things, and you can still play Jeopardy games. Okay, Stephanie, I want to run through this whole thing. We're flying. I dig it. So where are we going?
Let's finish The Empire's Most Wanted.
Yeehaw. All right, I like this clue. Here we go. This princess, general, senator, and all-around imperial pain in our rear is one of the leaders of the rebellion and top of our wanted list. Be careful, they're all princesses. Is it Catherine, Leia, Diana, or Anne? Yes! See, I had a lot of fun with this quiz. This was a good time. Oh, we almost batted 100 on it, but someone got it wrong. Your secret is safe with me. I think they just wanted to throw off their numbers, my numbers. 2 seconds left. It is, of course, Leia. Rest in peace, Carrie. The daughter of Senator Bail Organa, Leia has become integral to organizing rebel scum across multiple sectors. Any information leading to her capture will be greatly rewarded. All right, let's get to some more of the training stuff here. You know, as stormtroopers, how do we do our jobs? Let's get to these clues.
All right, let's do important tools for 400.
Yes, all right, for 400. If you can't find an answer to a question in the Stormtrooper Handbook, remember that nifty document, this person should be the next you ask for help. Now remember who gave us this quiz in the first place. Is it the Legion commander, your pet womp rat, your squad commander, or your best friend? Yes, most of you are getting this right. Only a few getting it wrong. They just wanted to answer pet womp rat in a quiz because I think that's always been a dream of mine too. I probably would have gone with that.
I mean, it was very tempting.
It is indeed, my friends, your squad commander. Your squad commander is your best resource for help when it comes to performing your stormtrooper duties. Always ask them for help, but after you consult the Stormtrooper Handbook. All right. Let's do 600 important tools. How's that sound?
Yeah, let's do it.
Again. All right. Important tools for 600. Though this will rarely happen, if there's a question your squad commander cannot answer, this is the next place you should seek help. Is it Imperial HR, a Sith Master, other members of your squad, or Stormtrooper Self-Help YouTube? Yes, everyone's getting this one true. Ecom got that right the fastest. Ecom, it's good to see you. I believe we had you recently in another Jeopardy game. Hello. All right. Ooh, we're getting a little more split on this one. Few seconds left.
I mean, don't we want to encourage self-directed learning? I think that's great. But stormtroopers aren't really known for their strong decision-making capabilities. So
that's correct. We don't, as much as that is a great idea, we want you to report to Imperial HR because Imperial HR is here for you. If you ever need assistance beyond what your incredibly capable squad commander can offer, do not hesitate to contact Imperial HR. All right. Stephanie, you know what? Actually, hang on.
Do we have time?
We do have time, but I forgot. I want to show the leaderboard.
Oh, we haven't shown the leaderboard. This is a tight race.
Look at this. Wow, I dig it. Now, we've got 4 clues left, like you saw. And in addition, we have a final Jeopardy clue that you can also wager. Shauna, yes, this is being recorded. Absolutely. So you can wager again on one more clue. We've got 4 left. What do you do next for 400? We're going for it. You lost your helmet in the last battle and need a replacement. This person can help you out. Now, in the military, who normally takes care of equipment? Would that be the company quartermaster, Stormtrooper Parts R Us, an eBay seller, or other members of your squad? Yeah, maybe in a pinch, but that's not what we're trying to train our people to do, 38 of you are getting this right. Excellent. The correct answer is indeed the company quartermaster. Yeah. All gear and equipment is provided to you, and thanks for your service to the Empire. We appreciate it. All right. What do you do next? Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the most missed question on this quiz. All right. This is my favorite question on the quiz. So you're going to want to answer something, but think twice. What do you do next? You've spotted some rebel scum. This should be your first action. Is it blast them, ask your friend what to do, run away, or report it to your squad commander? Thank you for not disappointing me. It is down to 2 answers only. So
Jake is telling everyone to be very careful because I yelled at him for this answer.
So there's what they would do, but what should they do? What should you do in this instance is maybe not what you would do.
I stand by my first answer. I'm not changing it, even though I know what the right answer is.
Exactly. So I am pleased to say we're split almost exactly down the middle. 24 of you said blast them. 25 of you said the correct action, which is to report it to your squad commander. To ensure an effective response is mounted, your squad commander needs to know the instant you spot any rebel scum. And as I think I saw in the chat, yes, their aim was a little off, so I don't know if blasting them would have done any good anyways.
Well, that's why you just keep blasting them until your aim gets better.
Exactly. Eventually one of them might have to hit. All right, here we go. Imperial Healthcare, 2 more clues. You are still responsible for your actions if under the influence of a Jedi mind trick. You must report any such incident to this person. Is it the Emperor, Darth Vader, Grand Moff Tarkin, or your squad commander? Oh, Nazir wants to talk to Grand Moff Tarkin. I don't know. That guy's scary. That guy scares me more than Vader, to be totally honest with you. 5 of you got this wrong. 38, 39 of you are catching on to the theme. The correct answer is indeed your squad commander. Report all incidents of Jedi mind tricks to your squad commander. Proper action will be taken to make sure possible security breaches are addressed. And now the final clue of our Jeopardy round. Everybody, one of my favorites. Unfortunately, this optional healthcare policy is highly recommended due to the nature of your work. The Empire thanks you for your service and limbs. Is it dental, Jedi trauma counseling, vision, or accidental death and dismemberment? It's just fun to say. I don't know. There's something about that. It just rolls off the tongue, 39 of you are getting this right. Only 1 getting it wrong. Your secret's safe with me. I love it. The correct answer is indeed, my friends, accidental death and dismemberment. This is dangerous work, and we want to make sure you are compensated for any injury you suffer in the name of the Empire. Make sure to sign up for this optional insurance coverage during the next enrollment period. All righty, back to the board. So you are going to see your scores. Oh, look at that. Sam getting by just a little bit there. Iris, your secret's safe with me. I was going to tell anyone you were the only one who got it wrong, but you outed yourself. All right. Thanks for being a great sport. So here are your scores going into the final Jeopardy question. And here is your category. Who's in charge? Who's in charge? So one more time, we have that slider. Go ahead and wager what you're going to do. I see some big wagers going on here. In my humble opinion, a true Jeopardy champion always wagers everything.
Go big or go home.
That's right. We got nothing to lose except your pride.
Well, and your position as a stormtrooper, because, we might kick you out.
Right. Also that if you fail. So here we go. Here it is. Now, when you're building a game in the training arcade, you can add picture clues to be the clue, to give a hint to the clue, or just to have some fun, like this one. And we'll get there once we build this game right after here. So here we go. Now, everyone, this is a text input. So all of the other clues have been multiple choice. This one, you're going to need to type in your answer when I'm done asking it. Type in your answer, then hit submit or hit enter. You do not need to type what is, who, or any of that, just the answer. Here we go. Dan, spelling does count because I am unmerciful, but we have a lot of different spellings, so you'll be good. Here we go. Good luck. When in doubt, blank is the person you should approach with any concerns, issues, or questions regarding your stormtrooper duties. Who am I talking about? When in doubt, blank is the person you should approach with any concerns, issues, or questions regarding your stormtrooper duties. Yes, 12 of you learned something today. I love it. Ooh, I like this. Yoda? No, Yoda doesn't work for the Empire, arguably, right? Okay. Good incorrect answer. Ooh, a lot of you not risking those points. It's Final Jeopardy. You've got nothing to lose. Take a stab. Let's go. There it is. Most of you are getting this right. I love it. The correct answer is indeed your squad commander. Yeah, we hope you understand at this point how important it is to report anything and everything to your squad commander. We thank you for your service to the Empire. Now, in the instance that there may have been a tie, I don't think that was going to happen here, but if there was a tie, whomever answered all of the questions overall the fastest will be shot to the top of the leaderboard. So let's see who our winner is. Drum roll, Stephanie.
That's the worst drum roll ever.
That was the worst drum roll ever.
Sorry, everyone. So that's not my forte.
Oh, hang on. Look at this. Those are our final scores, ladies and gentlemen. We had, I think, perfect scores from those top four. DC, Sam, Austin, Lynn, and top. But DC was the one to get all those questions in overall the fastest. Congratulations. And everybody, thanks for playing. I hope you had fun. And at the same time, learn something. As we said,
yeah, you're now all officially members of the Empire. So congratulations. Hope that's what you wanted.
Congratulations indeed. Yes, you are all official Stormtrooper members, and your first assignment will be in your mail shortly. But on a serious note, I would like to prove that I'd like to show that a lot of people came into this quiz saying, I don't know anything about Star Wars. I don't know anything. I'm going to fail this quiz. They did fine. And none of you, arguably, walked into this quiz knowing that your squad commander was the person you should report to for any questions you had during your Stormtrooper duties. And at the end of the quiz, you learned. So, voila. Here we are. Let's now build this game, and I can show you just how easy it is to actually do something about, or excuse me, to gamify your training and turn materials into games like this super easy. There you go, Kim. Exactly, right? That's one of the main strengths of Jeopardy, and particularly the TV show itself. They are masters at this. Jeopardy gives you a couple different paths to get to the correct answer. So here's the answer, and you have path A or B to get there. I don't know anything about path B. I've never seen Star Wars in my life, but I know that most companies use things called handbooks, right? So I saw the Stormtrooper Handbook as a guide resource. I go, wow, that's probably it. Even though I don't know the answer, I can arguably infer that that's the right one, and boom, it is. So you can definitely learn new things while you're playing Jeopardy. So here is the first step for this game. When creating any games in the training arcade, I always create the content outside of it first. That's just my preference. I do believe it is best practice, though, to use Google Docs, Sheets, whatever you want. It's just easier to collaborate with other people. It is easier to have everything here in this one place and look and edit it. And then just the quiz just kind of lives by itself in a separate instance outside of the training arcade. So this is what I do. This is just a simple template. I've got my category.
Jake, can you zoom in
I can.
Bit, you know, for those of us who don't have such young eyes.
That's not me. Ooh. How's that? Is that better, everyone?
That's so good.
Cheers. All right. So first, I need my category. Here is my clue. Here are my answers. The clue word, what is, and then things that are not in red, those are my misclues. And there is the correct answer. And then here's my feedback. So you can see it's just a nice place to kind of consolidate everything, right? Now, a couple things on writing Jeopardy games while we're here. All Jeopardy clues are in all caps. It sounds weird. It might look weird. It is weirder looking when they are not in all caps in the game. Watch the TV show and you'll see. So when you're writing it, again, when you're building it in the game, it's not going to break anything if you put it in lowercase. But if you really want your game to look and smell and feel and taste just like Jeopardy, gotta be in all caps, gotta be. Now, I always start with, okay, there is the correct answer I want. And then I want to come up with misclues. Now, coming up with misclues is also really important. In this game, I made them more obvious because, again, I'm assuming people are walking in with zero knowledge of the topic, right? Zero, none at all. So I wanted it to be a little more obvious what the answer is and make the other ones like, a little more kitschy. 101 spelling U with just a U, right? But having misclues is important because if you're training someone and the correct answer is too obvious, it's not really going to test their abilities and their recall and their knowledge check, right? Or if the clues are too similar, it's going to confuse and frustrate your learner at the same time. So coming up with misclues that are in the same realm as the right answer, but not exactly, maybe you do want to throw your learners off just a little bit in a good way, right? Like put them in the same ballpark, but maybe send them to different parts of the field, right? So to speak. That is a really effective way to make sure that they engage the materials and read through everything. Now, the feedback, this is an aspect of the training arcade that I absolutely love, and I highly recommend you use it for every game you create. So correct feedback. You can also put in feedback if they answer different feedback for if they answered incorrectly, and I'll get to that in a moment. But this is just another option to re-engage the material, reaffirm the material, or, hey, did you know that the Stormtrooper handbook is located at this URL, or etc. You can just engage your learners. So I write down all my clues. Here they are, looking lovely. See, this is a text input, so I don't really have misclues. I just have the different answers that I want here for my final Jeopardy. And there we go. Now, let's go to the training arcade. And here we are. So this is a blank template for a brand new Jeopardy game. For those of you unfamiliar, the Training Arcade is our game building tool. There are 10 different game templates or game types in it where you can simply drag and drop or copy and paste your material into the game. So actually, hang on, I got to change my sharing up. Well, I'll do that in 1 second. All right, so first of all, we've got the game first off in single player. Jeopardy and our trivia game are the games we have available in instructor-led mode, which is what we all just did. Somebody leads you through the game, you all play it together. Jeopardy and trivia can do that at the moment. We are looking to add the instructor-led mode to more games, just not available at the moment. So you name your game, test 1, 2, 3 seems to work. And then notice that once you've named the game, I just click off of that, the URL auto-populates with the name of the game. If I want to change it, I absolutely can. Now, this URL is the easiest way to share the games out to your learners. As you all saw earlier, I just shared you out a URL. The Training Arcade's not an app. It's not a plugin. It's not anything that needs to be downloaded or installed. As long as you or your learner have web connectivity on any kind of a device, laptop, mobile, yada, yada, you can play the Training Arcade games. All right, default language. So we now have 20 different languages that are supported in the Training Arcade. That's exciting. The important note, though, this does not translate the game material that you are adding in. That is a different webinar, a whole different process I can show you. That is an option. But what this does is it translates the UI or the instruction. So in my very rusty German, the start would not say start. It would say Anfang, right? So that is what is translated for your learners. You can add tags to them. Star Wars game, games for webinars, right? Those are optional, and that's just ways to organize all of your games for a quick search on your end. Okay, game settings, use a default timer. Yes, so I like using timers because it puts your learner under a little bit of pressure. In my humble opinion, for a trivia or Jeopardy-esque game, somewhere between 20 and 30 seconds is a great amount of time to give you time to read the clue, think about the clue, and answer the clue while being under a little bit of pressure and still moving the game along. We all had a 20-second time limit in the games that we just played. Percent required to pass. So if we're building a game for fun, 0. because I'm not really testing on anything. We're having fun. But if, say, this was a game on, you know, pharmaceuticals, I would want you to score a wee bit higher than 0. So you just type in that number, and that tells your learner if they passed the game or not, and if they need to play again. You can add session limits to make it a true knowledge check. The game is only available in such and such days from such and such time. And at the end, you can also, if you want, add a URL button. Learn more here. Hey, visit the Stormtrooper Handbook. Or like, now that you've played that game, play this one, right? So you can just add that. And the last thing here for Jeopardy is what I was talking about, is allow no response, meaning allow the learners to not respond and not lose points. Yes, I want to allow that because that's like the game. But if you're doing this for training purposes, you probably want your learners to give it a shot, right? To interact. So if you turn that off, it says no. If someone decides not to answer, they will lose points. So best take a stab. All right, and then we have our informational pop-up. Again, optional, but helpful. Hello there. You know, what are we doing here? Why am I playing this game? What is the point of this? You know, how did I get here? That's not my beautiful wife. All right, so there we go. Hello there. Lorem ipsum. Here's our game intro. Excellent. I will spell our, not out. And last but not least, you can add an additional layer of authorization to all of our games if you want to as well. You can upload an authorized player list like Jake's team, Stephanie's team, the operations team, and you can also incorporate SSO capabilities at the beginning of your subscription. Require user registration. So if I click this on, that just allows me to ask for some more identifying information for the learners beforehand, right? Like name, email, and I can create custom fields if I want. But I don't need that right now. That said, I definitely want the leaderboard because that's one of those awesome gamification elements we want to capture. So this is what happened to us. I want the leaderboard. So all that then asks for is either your name or your initials, right? Think of the arcade when you were a kid. You had 3 letters to immortalize your name, right? And we all picked 3 letters, bad letters, because we were all so cool, you know? That's what I'm talking about. So, but that leaderboard is a really important gamification thing because say I play the game and I get to the end of it and I see the leaderboard and I see that Stephanie scored higher than me. I am not going to stand for that. I'm going to play that game again and try and beat Stephanie's score. And in the same time, I'm re-engaging with that training material and driving it into my thick head, right? So I've captured my competitiveness to beat Stephanie or whomever, right? And I'm re-engaging with that material and learning something. All right, let's click save. Uh-oh. So if you forgot to fill out something or the URL is still in use, right? Oopsies, because that's one of my favorites. It'll tell you. Great. So now we saved it. So now our game has been created. So now we can go to questions or clues. And voila, here is what a blank thing looks like. It starts out as a 2x2, meaning there are 2 categories and 2 clues in each category. That is the minimum Jeopardy board that you have to build. You can't build anything smaller. But an actual Jeopardy board, like what you see on TV, has 6 categories and 5 clues per category. You can also turn on double Jeopardy if you want and have as many clues and categories in there as you see fit. We did not, just for the interest of time today. And same thing, I'm not going to be using all of these categories. If you want to delete them, it's as simple as this. Very good. I want to lower it down to 3. And there we go. Now, let's see how easy it is to just drag and drop my stuff in. So let me change up my sharing things real quick. Hang on 1 second for me so we can get both screens in here. Okay. All right. Can we see? Yes, I think we can. Okay, awesome. So this is how I do this. I have my document on one side of my screen. I've got my game on the other, and I copy paste away. And it is not so bad. It's a nice meditative procedure. So there we go. Important tools. Copied into the category name. Say that 10 times fast. And then I take this, copy and paste. And then I take all my misclue answers and I'll copy and paste them in here. Now, a couple other things. So this is a multiple choice clue, right? So first of all, we pick that. It's not a text input, so we'll do that next. Use a timer for this question. Yes, we have one set because I set that. If we go back real quick, it's a universal setting in the game settings, right? If I want to, I know this one's really hard. I can change the timer for individual questions if I want, right? And then the opening phrase. So we have this filled in here because this is most likely what you're going to be doing. Who is or what is. So I'm just going to delete all this extra text. So what is, and then I'm going to add 2 more possible choices. Take my stuff here, copy and paste it through, voila, and there you go. Now, you may notice that, so since I copied all of this over, there are character limitations for these answers. So just a few words got knocked off, boom, or a few letters rather got knocked off the Stormtrooper Handbook. And that is my correct answer. And I'm going to copy my feedback, paste it in here. And here you can see I could add in additional different feedback for an incorrect answer. I'm going to keep it the same. And the last thing I want to point out is this, the randomized choices. Now, if you are playing this as a single player game, it doesn't matter. What this means is the answers will show up to you in some random order. And if I'm playing it by myself, who cares what order they show up in? But if we're playing together in an instructor-led team like we all did, this will have the answers show up different for everybody. So I might be looking in the answers at A, B, C, D. Stephanie might get them as B, C, A, D. Someone else might get them as D, A, B, C, right? So it's not going to break anything, right? You can still play the game, but it's just going to be a little jarring if I am reading them off in one order and they appear in a different order on the learner's screen. So boop, just unclick the randomize and they will show up in the order they are listed. You can move around the order so that they are not always the first answer or always the same answer. Everyone, congratulations. We just made our first Jeopardy clue. Look how easy that was. Now that we know what we're doing, see how quickly it is. You can do this once you get into your groove. So I copy, I paste, I get rid of this stuff. Who is, what is, de-randomize. That's a word, right? Add some choices. Pet Wamprat, your best friend. The Legion Commander or your Squad Commander. Right. So now I need to unclick that. That's your Squad Commander. Copy that in. Et voila. That's it. Wash, rinse, repeat. Right. Pretty simple stuff. And truly, you know, once you get the hang of this, like I can build a game like this by 4x3 in like 5 to 10 minutes at best. Right. The hardest part of anything in the training arcade is coming up with the content for your games. That will take the longest time, the most effort, right? But once you've had that content created and it's ready to rock, just putting it into one of these templates, you're often gamifying your training in minutes. All right, let's do a text input. So for Final Jeopardy, I also want to add an image. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think I've lost my Star Wars image, but look at that. So you can add an image to your clue, PNG or JPEG format, and it's just a simple file explorer. And then that will show up before the clue like we saw in Final Jeopardy for us, right? So let's build this one. This is a text input, so I want to change that. Allow the player to skip clue, text string. No, I want them to look at the image. I'm going to copy and paste that in. Got my timer. And now this is a who is. So you can put whatever you want in here, right? Now, here is the difference between text input and multiple choice. The very first thing I need to put in is exactly what I am looking for. To the letter, to the spacing, that. Your Squad Commander. That's the answer I want. But what if someone said Squad Commander? That's correct. It's not exactly correct to what I'm looking for, but it is correct. So I'm going to put Squad Commander, and then I'm going to slide over here, I'm going to slide over here. There we go. And I'm going to use the contains function. This is my best friend. So honestly, in all the games that I write, I only pretty much ever use the exact and contains function. Starts with would be if I put SQU. So if you wrote the word squid,
I was about to shout squid at you, Jake, but you got there before me.
Beat you by a second. All right, 1,000,000 points to anybody else who can come up with words that start with SQI. So, or SQU. So if you put squid, that would count as a correct word. So it gets a little too for me, right? So by using contains, squad commander, as long as your answer contains those words, it's correct. So I could say, my favorite person in the whole wide world, my squad commander. And that's a correct answer. Or if someone, didn't listen to directions exactly and they typed in, who is your squad commander? I would also accept it and be done. So contains is your best friend. I really like it. And you can have as many of these permutations as you want. So also you could have different answers. So Stephanie, I'm going to use you. So Stephanie played this game a month or so ago, and I got yelled at because she put in squad leader, and she said, "I got
enough. It's close enough."
Exactly, Stephanie. I'm agreeing with you.
I know.
So she was right. Squad leader. I'm like, dang, totally. That is absolutely the correct answer that I didn't put in. So another fun thing in the training arcade, this game already exists. It's already been deployed. It's out in the wide open world. I can edit it whenever I want. And any changes that I make instantly go live to this game wherever it exists, right? So I added squad leader to be an acceptable answer.
And look at that. I've made such an impact on the world.
Everybody thank Stephanie for that. Yes, indeed. So that is creating a text input and a multiple choice. That's it. Honestly, Jeopardy is really one of our easier games to build because I mean, this is a good thing. It is semi-limited in its functionality because there are only 2 question types to stay like the IP. So many people connect with Jeopardy, right? And we really want it to look and feel just like as close to the game as we can. So that's why we're sticking to our guns and sticking to the IP. A lot of our other games have some more opportunities for customization, different question types, et cetera, et cetera. But clearly, Jeopardy pulls on heartstrings. I grew up watching it with my grandma. A lot of people did. So it's just got this, feeling. And also people know how to play the game. They're not as, at least most American audiences know how to play the game. I know it's not as widely available or broadcast globally, but people are more comfortable. They know how to play the game and they will interact with the material more often as opposed to some new game they've never seen before. They may just be, they'll slide right into Jeopardy. So the last thing I want to show you is, yes, I'm sure. So we're going to do a little cooking show magic. Oops, I'm going to spell it right. Here is the finished game after all that's been cooking. Look at that. So here is a fully fleshed out Jeopardy game, the exact one that we just played, right? Here are your categories. Here are the possible answers. Look at that. I've got them de-randomized. New favorite word. Here's our stormtroopers. Here are the possible answers that I accepted. Contains is your best friend. Voila. So the last thing I want to show you is squad, square, squeak. Okay, hang on. I got to go to the chat real quick. Squat, square.
Yes,
oh my God.
Our attendees have some great vocab skills.
This has been one of the best audiences ever. You guys are great. It is hard to think when you're up here, but thank you. Bro, squadron. Come on. I forgot squadron. We've said it 1,000,000 times in this quiz. All right. So the last thing I want to show you is the instructor mode, what I was looking at when I was playing the game and how easy this is. All right. So this is the game that we were just playing. I'm going to name my game and initialize the session. And then this unique one-off URL will exist. So think of the single player game that I built as like the parent account, right? Like, boom, that's my Star Wars Jeopardy Stormtrooper onboarding game. But I want to play different sessions of it with you folks. So I just put that link again into the chat. Now, this is a different link and different session from the one we played earlier, but it's the same game. So I could have this game and I could run sessions with multiple different teams, departments, settings, yada, 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 and have all of those sessions live and exist in the training arcade with all of that separate data existing. So if just a few of you would be so kind as to click on that link one more time for me and click start and register. Great. I've got 2 of you. That's all I need. I've got TA and I've got AZ or AS, TG Nibbles. I know these aren't real names. These aren't real people. I'm kidding. So this is what I'm looking at. Here are my aggregate answers. So once I ask a question, I can see how many people got it right, how many got it wrong, and how many did not yet answer. And here is my total current response. So I know that I have 9 people in this game. And here they are, right? Grogu, what up? Rogue One, what up? All right. So I'm going to start the game. And here's what I'm looking at. And this is exactly what you all are looking at as well. But I am in control. So if this was a single player game, any of you could click on these and you move through them at your own pace. But since I am the instructor, everything happens on my terms. So I'm going to click this answer. Have a question. Your first stop should be this document that likely has the answer you're looking for. So in a single player mode, this question would automatically advance to the answers after so much time, right? But in instructor led, we will sit here as long as I want to go over the clue until I click show possible answers. Now you all see the answers show up, and then I can see in real time, 7 people got it right, 2 got it wrong. Everybody's answered. Great, look at that. I don't even need to wait for the full time. Everyone's in, so I can show the correct answer. And I can see TA got it right, answered the Stormtrooper handbook, and it took them 0 seconds, defying physics. Sam, sorry, Sam, I'm not trying to oust you, got it wrong, how to spot a Jedi, in 4 seconds. So when I'm sitting here being, oh, 7 of you got it right, 2 of you got it wrong, this is what I'm looking at. And this is great information to engage your learners. Channel your Alex Trebek, your Ken Jennings, your inner game show host, right? Talk to the audience, make them involved. There are stakes here, right? And you can just talk about plenty of information to give yourself here to engage your audience. We go back to the board. Now, keep your eyes right down here where my mouse is moving in this bottom left corner. Keep your eyes there for me, all right? So I click on a clue. Notice how it's like blanked out. I can't even move. And then it allows me to move forward. That is a built-in safety net to protect you. And trust me, it will protect you. That is meant for you to not just like accidentally double click through to the answers. I've done it. You will do it. It is there to save you. It cannot be changed. It cannot be altered. It is there for your safety. So we show possible answers. Keep your eyes down here. Same thing. I can't even show correct for a couple of seconds to just give me in my mind a second to move the mouse away from that button so that I don't show the answers prematurely. Look at that. 6 got it right. 2 got it wrong. 1 did not answer. I'm going to show the correct. It is your squad commander. Back to the board. Same thing. Blanks out for a second so you have time to read it. And we go back to the board. So I'm pretty much clicking 1 button while I'm doing this. And I spend most of my time and energy engaging with you all and talking with you all and making sure you're having fun playing the game and engaged in the material. The only advanced functions for this are you can show the leaderboard at any time by clicking that. And you can dismiss the leaderboard, same thing. Mute player audio, if you have people in different settings. So by the way, this can also be played in person. You can have a bunch of people playing the same game like in a conference hall or a classroom. And people could be playing online at the same time or any combination thereof. So that can sometimes create just like, weird noise audio echoes. So if you want, you can mute the player's audio to prevent that. I've never really had it be an issue on my end, but I can absolutely see how it could be. And then the last thing, say, darn it, we don't have time to get through all of these. I need to skip the final Jeopardy. Yes, I'm sure. It's as simple as that. We skip to that. Dismiss the leaderboard. And then you all get your wager board. I don't see any wager board because I'm not wagering anything. I'm the instructor. And it's the same thing. You can see the average, who's wagered. We hide the wager. Now, the only difference is as an instructor, I see a hint to the picture clue. You do not. Or excuse me, I see the clue and the picture clue at the same time, whereas you just see the picture. So you can play with this. This can be a great teaching tool. If you want, the picture itself could be the clue, right? That could be the clue, and this text could be what I want to read off to you. So I don't have to show you just the text next. If I want to, I can skip right to the answer, right? So maybe it's a video you've uploaded. Watch this 30-second, video, and then answer this question on the video, right? So you just have a bunch of different opportunities to, yeah, look at that. Here they come. Different opportunities to play or to utilize this game and to engage and teach your learners. All right, your squad commander. There we go. That is my, wow, we ran the whole gambit. We played a full game. We built one. We ran through the instructor-led mode. That was great. So we've got about 8-9 minutes for questions. I am happy to answer any questions y'all may have. And before that, thank you. You guys were a great audience. That was a ton of fun. That was, don't tell Stephanie, that was my favorite game building webinar so far. I'm kidding. I mean, that is
Wow.
my favorite one so far. Right?
I mean, I thought it was my presence that made the game building webinar so fun, but I see how it is.
Forgive
well,
me.
Jake will not be winning the coveted award of Stephanie's favorite coworker of the day. Not today, anyway. So 10 strikes. We do have some questions.
Cool. What we got?
All right. So as you've shown, you can do this instructor-led or single player. If you are doing it single player, can you tell us all the different ways we could distribute it? I know you mentioned sending a link out over email. We post links to games a lot on our social media for fun holidays and stuff, but perhaps if you wanted to incorporate it into something more formal, how would you do that, Jake?
Thank you. And I totally forgot to do that. So you can, any of the games in the training arcade can be SCORM wrapped, and they can be embedded into an LMS or any other system that you may be using. They can also be iframed into anything, and they can also be embedded into anything. The training arcade is a really easy thing to access, right? And I just looked at the next question. That is a great question. So you can SCORM wrap it. You can share the URL. You can embed it into a website. You can iframe it into a website. And those are the ways you can do it. And yes, as long as you have a phone, laptop, tablet, anything that has web connectivity, you can still play the game. It looks exactly the same on a phone, right? Like the UI is exactly the same. Obviously, it's smaller, but the UI and everything looks exactly the same as what we just saw. So, okay. Kim, can you build a bank of questions and have them? That is an excellent question. So for Jeopardy right now, no, you cannot. That is simply just based on the coding of the game and how it is built. I know that I think they're trying to rebuild the foundation so that that is possible, but for Jeopardy, it is not. For our other games, it is possible to use question banks. So good question. And yes, Aaron, you answered your own question. You can use tags. Yes, you can.
Okay, let's see. Can you create levels within the same game? Like beginner, intermediate, advanced question?
Oh, that is a good question. In Jeopardy, no, there aren't levels. So you could have, you can have Jeopardy and Double Jeopardy, right? And Double Jeopardy is always more difficult in the game. And in addition, the increasing clue difficulty, I suppose, could definitely be your levels, right? I don't always adhere to that. Myself, like the $600 clue is not always harder than the $400 one, right? Like it might just be trickier or something like this, but you could use that, obviously, the more money, the harder the clue. Again, in different games of ours, yes, there are levels, like literal levels between games and stuff, like our matching game, which is like a Candy Crush style thing. Wheel of Fortune has different puzzles that you can play, right? Those could be counted as levels. And like our jump game, same thing. You can clear different levels, all of that good stuff. Kim,
Wow.
yes.
If you were
Yes.
a subscriber, how
Yes.
many Jeopardy games can you make, Jake?
As many as you want. As many as you want. There's no limit to the amount of games that you can build when you are, or once you subscribe to the Training Arcade. And exactly, that is what I do, Kim. So I build these games that we use in multiple different instances, right? And I build like, the main version. Like, here's the template of onboarding a Stormtrooper game. And then I can just copy it as many times as I want. Stormtrooper game for the website, Stormtrooper game for the webinar, Stormtrooper game for Stephanie to play. It's all the same game, but they all exist as different instances and collect that data separately. So I can look at, okay, how did everybody score on the website game, right? It's the same game, but just deployed in different places, right? So great question. You're welcome.
All right, I think that we've answered all of the questions. If we didn't, this is your, okay, can you compare the data? This is a good question. What, can you compare the data from the different instances? How can you, no, the data's there. You showed us a little bit of the back end. Can you export that data? Can you make it in an Excel spreadsheet and just play with it to your heart's content? Tell us, Jake.
Yes.
Yes, that's all you're going to tell us.
You said it. No, yes, yes. So I'm sorry, I'm just joking. So here, I forgot to show you that too. The awesome analytics captured. So this is that little test instance that we just played at the end, right? So here are those users. Here's their score and their total response time. I can see who got things right, how much time they answered, and you can export this to an Excel sheet and look at it to your heart's content. Now, here we go. Boom. So this is the single player game, right? So as you can see, I've had 68 players play this game. Here's the average score. Here's aggregate data. And here is the top data. JK, I wonder who that was. Is crushing this game, playing through it, got a $50,000 on it. So I can see by player, right, what everyone has done. The total questions answered, their accuracy by session. And I can also look at individual clues. Wait, no, I don't want to look at that one. I want to look at...
This is also great because if you see that like everyone got the same question wrong, then you know either your question was worded poorly or your training was not properly addressing that topic. And then you can go back in, you can make changes to the training, you can change the game as Jake showed, and it'll automatically, those changes will be public, they'll be live automatically.
Exactly. So I can see too by question, right? Blast them. 18 people picked blast them. 38% of you on the first try, and report to your squad got it right on the first time. And like Stephanie said, this clue about the droid malfunctioning, that's probably too hard. Or maybe I want it to be that hard, right? Maybe it's a trick question. Kind of was a trick question, right? But I can see, all right, these accuracies are kind of low. Maybe I want to adjust that. This one's super high, so maybe I want to make that more difficult, and anything and everything in between. And yes, you can cut up the date ranges too. So I only want to see the data for who played this game today, or from yesterday, or last 7 days, yada, 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 and simply download it into an Excel report and use it to my heart's content. And that kind of data is collected for every single game. So
now, one last question before we run out of time.
Sure.
If you subscribe, you build a bunch of games, everything's awesome, and then budget cuts happen and you can't resubscribe the next year.
Yep.
What happens to all of your data and your games that you have in the Training Arcade?
Right. So after a while, Philip, thank you, much appreciated. So if you decide not to continue your subscription, the data is available for a slight amount of time, just in case things change. Hey, we're back. We do want our account, so we hang on to it for just a little bit. But if it's clear, like, hey, this is not going to happen, we're done, we're gone, the data is deleted. It is erased.
But you could download it all first.
Oh, yes, you can download all the data.
Keep your data, it's yours.
Absolutely, but we don't hang on to it after the fact. And you will not have access to the games to play it once your subscription is done, but you can absolutely have that Excel data stored in your back pocket, 100%. My apologies.
But of course, once your boss sees all the great data and the training retention and all that, they would never want to get rid of it.
Exactly. For 10,000 credits, Aaron, that's the hostage fee for sure. Cool.
All right, we are at time. Thank you, Jake, for hosting and taking us through this. Thank you to all of our attendees. You've been an absolutely awesome crowd. We love the interaction and the enthusiasm. The recording will be emailed out, so you can share it with your coworkers, your colleagues, the person in charge of the purse strings, and you can also use it to guide you in creating your first Jeopardy game. And lastly, may the 4th be with all of you.
May the 4th be with all of you.